Keevan's escape pod spiraled through the violet atmosphere of Zalthera, its heat shields glowing orange as friction tore at the hull. The diplomatic vessel Horizon's Promise had been destroyed in the skirmish, a misunderstanding between human explorers and an unknown alien defense grid. Now as the sole survivor, Keevan braced himself for impact on a world that had never seen a human being. The pod crashed into a crystalline forest, shattering azure trees that sang with harmonic frequencies as they broke. Keevan stumbled out, his environmental suit torn but functional, his lungs filling with air that tasted of copper and ozone. The gravity was lighter here, making each step feel like a bounce. He activated his emergency beacon and looked around at the alien landscape, bioluminescent flora pulsing with life. Twin moons hanging in a lavender sky, and in the distance, structures that suggested civilization. He didn't have to wait long for contact. They emerged from between the crystalline trees like phantoms, tall, elegant beings with skin that shimmered between shades of teal and silver. Their eyes were large and multifaceted, catching light like precious gems. But what struck Keevan most was their body language, cautious yet intensely curious, like scientists who had just discovered a new species. The first to approach was Hazal Kaya, though Keevan wouldn't learn her name until later. She wore garments that seemed to be woven from light itself, flowing and changing colors with her movements. Her companions, 7 other females of her species, formed a loose circle around him, their crystalline voices creating a symphony of questions in a language he couldn't understand. Hazal stepped closer, her head tilting in a way that reminded Keevan of a bird examining something fascinating. She reached out with elongated fingers, hesitating just inches from his face. Keevan stood still, understanding that any sudden movement might be interpreted as aggression. When her fingertips finally touched his cheek, her eyes widened with wonder. She turned to her companions and spoke rapidly, her voice like wind chimes in a breeze. The others pressed closer, their fear evaporating into fascination. One touched his hair, marveling at its texture. Another examined his hands, comparing them to her own 4-fingered appendages. A third leaned in to study his eyes, her own reflecting confusion at the simple dual pupil design compared to their complex compound vision. Keevan activated his translator, hoping the AI could begin parsing their language. "I mean no harm," he said slowly. "My ship was destroyed. I'm alone." The translator hummed, attempting to process the alien phonetics. Hazal's head snapped toward the device and she spoke directly to it, testing it. After several exchanges, the AI began to build a linguistic bridge. "You are soft-skinned biped?" Hazal's translated words came through haltingly. "From the metal bird that fell from Sky Ocean?" "Yes," Keevan replied. "I'm human. From a world called Earth." The word human caused a ripple of excited chatter among the group. They had heard legends of the universe's diversity, but had never encountered another intelligent species. Their world, protected by ancient defense systems, had remained isolated for millennia. Hazal gestured for him to follow, and the group led him through the crystalline forest toward their settlement. Along the way, they bombarded him with questions that the translator struggled to convey. Why did he have so much hair? How did he see with only 2 eyes? Why was his skin one uniform color instead of changing with emotion like theirs? Keevan answered patiently, realizing he was not just a curiosity but a bridge between 2 civilizations. He explained human biology, Earth's yellow sun, the diversity of his species. In return, he learned that Hazal and her people, the Zaltheri, communicated not just through sound but through bioluminescent patterns on their skin. Their society was matriarchal, built on principles of collective knowledge and artistic expression. As they entered the settlement, a breathtaking array of crystalline spires and organic architecture, Keevan noticed something peculiar. All the inhabitants he saw were female. When he asked about males of their species, Hazal's skin flickered with what the translator identified as sadness. "Our males are rare," she explained. "They live in deep sanctuaries, protected. We thought we were alone in the cosmos until you fell from the sky." The irony wasn't lost on Keevan. He was the first alien they had ever seen, and they were his first contact with non-human intelligence. Both sides were learning that the universe was far less lonely than they had believed. Over the following days, as rescue teams from the Terran Federation worked to locate him, Keevan became a sensation on Zalthera. Hazal appointed herself his cultural liaison, teaching him their customs while learning everything about humanity. She was particularly fascinated by human resilience, The fact that his species had survived countless extinctions, wars, and disasters to reach the stars. "Your people do not give up," she observed one evening as they sat beneath the twin moons. "We have lived in peace for 10,000 cycles, but we have never faced true adversity. Perhaps that is why we never left our world. And perhaps that's why you've built something beautiful here," Kevin countered. "Survival isn't the only measure of success." When the rescue ship finally arrived, Hazel and her companions gathered to see Kevin off. The initial curiosity had transformed into genuine friendship and mutual respect. Hazel's skin displayed patterns of blue and gold, the Zalthari expression of affection and hope. "Will you return?" she asked. "I will," Kevin promised. "And next time I'll bring others. Diplomats, scientists, artists. Your people and mine have much to learn from each other." As his shuttle lifted off, Kevin looked down at the crystalline world below. He had crashed as a lone survivor, surrounded by curious alien women who had never seen a human. He departed as an ambassador, carrying the hopes of two species ready to bridge the cosmic divide. The universe, he realized, was full of wonders waiting to be discovered, and sometimes those discoveries began with simple curiosity and an outstretched hand.